and welcome to the Dice Tower. I am Milla Cleghorn, and today I want to take a look at a deluxe insert for one of my favorite games of all times. So we're going to be taking a look at a wooden insert from ShipShape Gamer for the game Obsession. This insert is officially licensed, so it does have Dan Halligan's with Kayenta Games. It has their backing and thumbs up, and I actually first became aware of it due to one of his YouTube videos where he was showing it off. So I saw it, I got my hands on it, built it, and wanted to kind of share some of my thoughts with you today on it. Like I said, I love the game Obsession. It's one of my favorite games, but I do find it to be a little bit of a slog to get set up as it comes. The game does come with some good player boxes in it, and it fits really, really nicely in the box, but it just seems like it takes about 15 minutes to get the game even set up and prepped to get it to the table. So what I was really hoping for with this insert is one that is going to help me get it to the table quicker and kind of ease that entry of play when I am ready to play with it, so that I can just get it set out, jump right into play, not have to go through the tiles and such. And that's really what I was hoping for. But before we go that far into it, let's talk first about what you get with this insert. The insert is going to be mailed directly from ShipShape Gamer. It's where they sell it, and it's pretty well packaged. For me, I found it had pretty quick shipping, and I didn't have any concerns with the way it was received. The wood is going to come with a masking tape kind of on it that you need to take it off, and it does come with a disclaimer in there, because as soon as you open it up, you're going to smell wood. It smells like a campfire. Me personally, I love this. I was like, yes, this is amazing. But it does come with a disclaimer that, that is just to preserve the wood during the laser cutting to make sure you don't get those scorch marks. So you are meant to take that masking tape off, and the smell all but dissipates once you do. I've not had any smell since taking that masking tape off. But my trash can did smell really good there for a couple minutes, and I like it a lot. But maybe that's not your thing. So don't worry, it does go away. As far as actually building it, so the wood is going to be laser cut, like I said, and it's pretty easy to snap out, although it is anxiety inducing. You have to snap it out of the wood, and so it does talk about how you want to break the outside wood if the joint is a little bit too tight. Putting it together was really easy with the instructions provided. I was really impressed by the quality of instructions. It's just a 2-page sheet, a front and back sheet, but I didn't have any questions about what went where or how to do it. It was really pretty intuitive and well laid out. So that was a huge plus. If you haven't done a lot of inserts, I think it was pretty easy to get into. But again, back to kind of that anxiety that it caused. These are tension joints, so there is no glue at all in these, and you're just meant to squeeze the insert together until it stops creaking. Once it stops creaking, you know it's on there tight. That can be scary because these are little bitty joints you're talking about, and I know me multiple times I was really worried about breaking them or cracking it or anything like that. But that wasn't the case. So it took me quite a while to put it together. And again, I think part of it is just because those joints were so tight. I mean, probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours, which is significant when there's not that much to it, really. It's a couple boxes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boxes, and a little thing for the cards. So it's a significant input of time, and it does get your fingers all black with the scorch marks. But again, that does go away with time. So ease of putting it together. Expect it to be time consuming, and needing to be you feel like you need to be delicate. I never broke anything, and so maybe that's not the case, but it definitely leaves you with that feeling of like, oh, this is breakable and I'm a bull in a china shop. So there's that, but it all overall I think went really, really well. As far as the actual look and feel of it, it feels really sturdy. I will say this wood does feel, I don't have any concerns about it breaking or cracking or warping, especially down here in this Florida heat and humidity. That's something always in my mind, like, is it gonna warp over time? I don't have any concerns with this. It does feel really nice and sturdy. The joints themselves are going to be, well, the joints on the boxes are the tension ones, like I said, and then the ones to actually hold the box lids in place are springs as well. And I've not had any problem with that in my multiple uses of it at this point. I've put it on, taken off, put it on, taken off, kind of put it a little bit through a little bit of stress. And I've not had any problems with it breaking or seeming like it was going to break or couldn't keep up with that. And that was good. So overall, building process and the actual product you get, the sturdiness, so far so good. I was really liking this. Then it came to put it back in the box, and I will say that is lacking, is there are not instructions on how to put it in the box. So after trying to maneuver through it and figure out how for like 15 or 20 minutes, I actually went back to Kayenta Games, the YouTube video where he was talking about it, and watched him put it back in the box. After that, it was really, really simple, and since then I've not had a problem because, again, there's not that many to it. So I feel like you can get it done pretty quickly once you figure out how to do it. All of the tiles do not fit in the tile box though if you have everything. So just be aware of that, but there is enough room on the side of the box that you can slide them in there, and that's where I keep my promo tiles. So maybe I won't put them in, but they're still there in the box if I want to or need to. Yeah, so getting in the box was a little bit of a learning curve that I did have to look up some instructions to. Another thing that I was a little bit iffy on this was actually the writing or the engraving of the words on the boxes. And I found that these were just not quite as legible as I would want. So me being me and not knowing when to stop or hold myself back, I actually reached out to ShipShape Gamer and said, hey, have you ever thought about coloring the lettering? Have you ever tried painting? What do you think about using like an oil paint or an ink versus an acrylic? Have you tried any of this before I mess up my good insert I just got? They were very, very gracious and got back to me really quickly and said, hey, we have thought about this before, but haven't had a chance to. If you try it, please share your results. And it wasn't an hour later, he was like, okay, just kidding, I tried it myself. And so it was a really fun exchange with him. I very much enjoyed that. And it came down to, I did try to paint this with acrylic paint. And I found that that was really simple. And I do like the results. I didn't know if I wanted to go light or dark, so I did one of each. And I still don't know which I like better. It is gorgeous without that coloring in it. But I do like, I think the legibility is just a little bit more clear with having that painted. So that's another extra step that I took on the insert, but is absolutely not necessary for this insert to function and serve its purpose in this box at all. The last concern I have with this insert is actually concerning the box in which you keep your guest, your prestige and your elite level guest. I find that if you don't sleeve the cards, then the cards sit so low in the box that you can't use them during the game, that you have to actually take the cards out because the hole on the side to actually pull them out, it just doesn't quite go down low enough. So for me, on my copy, this isn't a big deal. I'm just going to take a piece of foam and put it on the bottom just to lift those cards up so that I can still, once again, just take that box out and put it right on the table and be able to pull the cards out of it. But that is something to note, that this does fit sleeved cards. So if you are a card sleever, everything will fit just fine with that sleeved cards. I like the extra step they took of separating out the objective goals for if you're doing the base game or with the upstairs downstairs, because you need to keep those separate and you only ever use one set. And I like that that's separate as well. I also like with the tile box that it is going to keep your upstairs, downstairs tiles and your monument tiles separate from all the base tiles. And I really like that decision because if you've played this game, you know it can be time consuming going through all these tiles, trying to pick out the right ones and build your tile pool. So having these separate in a container really eases that step up. The final part of this insert that I want to discuss is the actual player boxes. This is one piece that it recommends in the instructions to go ahead and glue. I have not glued mine yet, and I might get around to it, but I really don't think it's necessary. Yes, it does wiggle a little bit in there, but I don't find that cumbersome. It hasn't fallen apart. It's not been a problem. So at this point, I have not glued it, and I'm not really looking to glue it unless I come across a problem down the road. But I do find that having that box organized like that when I'm teaching the game, it helps me to be able to sit down with people. I'm like, all right, open your box. Now right here, you're going to have these cards. Take them out. Those are your player aids. Set them aside. Below that, you have your starting tiles. Place them out. So it just gives that organized box so that I'm not having to go through and do all the setup, but I can easily walk people through setting up their own player area. And again, that's going to help that teaching process. It makes the game a little more user-friendly. And ultimately, that's what I wanted out of this. So with all that being said, I think that this is a fantastic insert. Yes, it has a higher price point and it's priced right along with other deluxe inserts we're going to see with these wooden inserts. I think this is the African mahogany wood one, so it has that darker finish. I think it is absolutely gorgeous. It goes with the theme of the game. It helps ease the play of getting the game to the table, and it's everything that I wanted in this insert. So I am very, very happy with this insert. It would get a huge recommendation from from me, to the point that, like I said, I have added it to my personal game, and I plan to leave it there for a long time to come. So with that, thanks for stopping by. You've been checking out the ShipShape Gamer Obsession insert with me. I'm Camilla. Take care.